Hi all, I'm back. I'm still working an abo turtle, and I'm doing it with, it's not an abo turtle, it's an abo tool work turtle. And I'm doing it with a very poor abo technique because I'm not a practiced abo napper. So attempt not to learn anything from this. This is just for amusement value. And I will also say that what will I also say? Oh, I turned the fan on behind me to blow stuff outside. This is ashy, but so far it's working, kind of. Yeah, I was afraid of that. I never can decide, since I don't know what I'm doing, how much to abrade. When you abrade with a rock, it doesn't get nearly the abrasive power and take stuff off and everything that one of those carborundum type abraders will do. And so therefore, you know, you seem to think you're abrading, but you're not really abrading very well. And so then you try and hit stuff with antler. Well, antler doesn't like too much abrading anyway, because it kind of got to bite in and grab the rock to work. But then when you use hammerstone, it definitely needs more abrading. So it's just all confusing to somebody who doesn't do this exclusively. I should do it more because I like it, but it is harder on the arm, so I need to, my problem too is I need a bunch of different sizes. This is a harder rock, which I shouldn't be hitting with, but took the flake I needed for that time. Yeah, I really just don't have much to say when it comes to telling you about how to do this particular stuff. I'm wondering if I can hit that, and if there's any way possible that hitting that maybe with antler will, it's got like a step there, so I just don't know if I can, because it's like a one-shot kind of deal. Maybe I can try it. Nope. Nope. Yep. Wow. That sure broke weird. And it looks like there's a crack down in here too that doesn't look good. Ooh, that doesn't look good at all. It looks like there's a fold crack that goes almost all the way through it, like right up there, which if it does that, man, I ain't gonna have much left at all. Dang it. Oh well. There's more rocks where this one came from. Actually, there's not much more where this one came from, but there's definitely more in my... I have obsidian, is what I meant to say. Man. What to do? Well, I can hit it back there. Didn't work. So frustrating. I mean, when you go from knowing what you're doing and having fairly predictable results with it, to not knowing what you're doing and having unpredictable results, it's annoying. wonder if that does go all the way down in there. I need a little. There's a better little semi-sandstone-y kind of thing. I'm wanting to get into here and see what is in there, but I need to get weight off this end because this end is not safe. If I look like a bad caricature of someone who's watched Marty Reeder's videos a million times, then that's who I am. Wonder where my arm went. Okay, so I just don't see much in the way of good ways to attack this piece without losing length, and it doesn't have a lot of length, so losing length doesn't seem like a great idea. But I will. Okay, there went the turtle. And I almost did too much. I never can figure out what I need to be doing. Good. Trying to run that a little bit into that hinged area, and it's a little bit off there. I'm still trying to do my usual bit of getting weight off the ends. Yeah, that's that fold. See, it's still in there, and it goes, I mean, it doesn't look good. Oh well. When I have a problem in a rock, you know, I do try and take into account what I may can do to fix the problem or whatever, but if it's one of those kind of things where, well, either it'll be okay or it won't, then I just keep on keeping on and see what happens. But I do not give up. There's a bunch of junk in there. I do not give up on a rock until it is no longer workable. I mean, I don't like making microscopic points for the most part, so I mean, if I was planning on making something big and it ends up being tiny, then I may stop, but lost some length there, but the turtle's, you know, turtle's not really there anymore. So yeah, I reduced an abo turtle, or I reduced a turtle using abo, so we'll call that an accomplishment for today. Try hitting with a small billet. I don't like hitting really with small billets because usually it doesn't work well. It's fast speed and no mass, and the problem that I have with abo is that occasionally I'll get my support right, and I'll get my abrading right, and I'll get everything right, and I'll just look like I know what I'm doing for about 1 to 3 hits. And then it's back to the comedy of errors. Hey, get out of my finger. I know somebody in another state that has decided more or less to, you see me catch that? Decided more or less to exclusively use hammerstones for all their reduction. And I think that's a totally, you know, cool concept. but you know, you reach a stage with, I've reached a stage with the other stuff to where I can do a lot more with the other stuff, and I hate to give all that up. See right there, I was thinking I should have used an antler. Sometimes you kind of over braid it and you think, well, I'll just ding that off and see what happens. And see, about 3 hits that were bad, and then that one was kind of good. It just, it's annoying. That brushing stuff I was just doing just doesn't work well for braiding, and I forget it because it works fine on, and that just crushed, and that ran kind of okay. And just, you know, that's the way it is for me. And that was fine. I mean, you know, just I do think part of my, you know, problem, and one of the reasons that I haven't wanted to go exclusively to abo is because since hammerstones have a fair amount of mass sometimes, they don't have handles on them. I don't have a tendency to swing them rapidly enough, and the force needed to swing them rapidly enough and then to decelerate them is not good for the arm. And I was watching Marty one time, and Marty is a beast. And he can take a big old rock and swing it like it was a feather, and at very high velocity. So it's kind of, it's amazing to see in person, but that was a good flake. And that was a good flake. One thing that's really interesting sometimes is that obsidian occasionally can just, like on the cortex and stuff, some obsidian shapes can just be a beast to get into. And you know you have to be careful because it's obsidian, but on the other hand, like the egg shape, some egg-shaped pieces of obsidian and stuff, shoot, man, them things are strong on the outside. This hammerstone is probably a little much for this rock at this point. But I jammed all my stuff together in the garage, and I don't know that I have the room to reach around and go find a stout one. Hey, it's long into this. I'm at this stage, and I'm stopping, and I may come back so you can see if there's another video in this series or not. Freeze crack.